Hello, so take three. For some reason, my phone keeps turning off, so we'll hope this one doesn't do that. I've already started. I started with a foundation, and then though I'm hoping the kiddos will already come with that, and then we do a white kind of heart. We want it close to the eyebrows here and coming down, and we're using a wider brush. We're using kind of a blush type brush because we're going to be doing an ombre effect sort of, and we want it to be wispy and light, but we do still want a definite white going on here. And we're going to bring it down to about where the bottom of the nose is, coming inside the eye here because that's where our markings are going to be. So we've got kind of this heart shape and then down the nose. The next step is going to be the brown. I do not have the right brown yet. It is in transit, so I'm going to be using just a darker foundation right now, but we do have a brown that is going to be used when we actually do this. So let me see, did I have another brush that had this on it now? Okay. So again, we're going to use like a blush brush type thing, and we're going to do above and around the white, but we're going to leave a little bit in between because like I said, we're going to ombre this with a lighter color. And so we're just going to kind of go like this. This is not the best brush, honestly, and we're going to come down. So we want it to come down, and down here, yeah, so we're kind of just leaving a tiny bit of room in between for future blending. This is a terrible brush. Choosing the right brushes is an art, and the more you do these, the more you'll choose the right brushes. Right now, I'm still using what's not dirty. We had a makeup practice last night, which went really well. For those of you who were there, I'm so excited. Okay, and then this here can be up as far as we need to. Some of the kids have headpieces, some do not, so we're just going to kind of make that go up as far as we can. But this is going to be the darkest part of our thing. Again, it's going to be more of a brown, but this is the darkest part of our look. So that is what we're doing there. All right, the next part is going to be the we're going to use an in-between color. So this could be this powder. We also have this powder, and so you can kind of play with it and choose which one you want when we do it. Right now I'm using this one, the light Wet and Wild. And what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of, we want to start at the top here and just brush down. Because we want this brown to come down. And you'll see, you can start seeing it's kind of an ombre-ish type effect. And we want this all the way around the edges. And by doing it from the outside in, we're making that look like that's kind of just the fur there. Okay. So now we've got our overall fur look. And I actually want to bring a little bit down here too, just a little. Okay, so now we've got our brown, we've got our little heart look, and at this point you can also touch up some of the white if you need to make it a little bit whiter on the very inside, you know, just to make sure we've got a real nice white there. Okay, then the next step is a brown shadow on the eyes. So we've got this little palette here, and I think my favorite one is this second one over. You could also use this back one, but I really like the glimmer that goes with this one, and it kind of goes on really nicely. So we want to do a little bit out, just like we've done with most of the pod animals. We want that, and like with the lionesses, we want it to just come out a little bit for elegance. We want all of these pod animals to be very elegant, and that kind of just adds to that feel, glam kind of feel. And for those of you not used to doing makeup, this always feels a little awkward when you do these outside things. That one's not as pretty. That one looks much better. but it really is necessary. It looks really good, and so always go a little further than you think you should have to. The next one we're going to do is going to be the black, and the black has two things. One is going to be the eyeliner, and if we should get some eyeliners in that if it's easier for you to use, you can use. The kids should have their regular eyeliner on, so let's pretend that they came and they actually had their regular eyeliner on. We're going to pretend they come like that. Then so theoretically all we should have to do is add this and be done with it. So they should have their own eyeliner with them also. We want to use as much of their makeup as possible on these things, especially around the eyes and around the mouth. They should also have their own lipstick, and they all need lips. Okay, so we've come around, we've done the white. The only thing left to do is going to be the black lines. And these seem like they're going to be tricky, but they really aren't. So we're using an angled brush. You want to use a little angled brush. Let me see if I can get close enough to show you that. So it's a tight angled brush. It's not loose. It's got a lot of shape to it. And it's just the right thickness. There's some that are thinner than this, but you're going to want one that's going to be just, if you look at the proportions again in the picture, you can kind of see how thick we're going to want it around the eye at the top there. Not seriously thick. And so the technique for this, I'll show you on my arm first. So you start with it going long way, just the very thin way, and you start your line and you slowly, it's the same thing we do with the zebras. You go like this, and then you can go back to that, or you can start like this, get thicker, and go all the way around. That one did not turn out very good. I'm running out of stuff. Okay, so that's what we want. We're not looking for straight lines. We're looking for it to be thicker, thinner, and every kid is going to be a little different, and I don't know how to not make it a little different every night, but that's just the way it is. So we take black, have them close their eyes, and we're going to start right above where the eyeshadow was on this one. And for this, we're going to want to kind of go out and then up. So we start thick, and as we go up, and then we can fill it in. Do the same thing on the other side. There we go. Then if you want it darker, you can add some more. Once you've got your basic shape, just be careful not to mess up your beautiful shape. And on the kid's skin, you may not need to fill it in. It's a lot easier on the kid's skin than on this. And then for the below line, we're going to want to go inward a little bit. And so we're going to want to kind of come here where it started. There we go. And it can move around a little bit. It can be straight, however you want, but we want it to come down about as far as the center of this nostril here. So let's see if we can do. Okay. It's not perfect, but they never will be. But this is our basic look. We're then going to bedazzle because we're trying to do just a tiny bit of shimmer on each animal. These animals we're going to use two for these guys. We're going to use two of them. One is going to be the white sparkle, and this is just going to go gently on the white. I think maybe it's easier because we can't blow on the children. Probably use a Q-tip and just dab it on, you know, because we don't need tons. We just want a little bit down the nose and on the sides here. And then we're going to put just a tiny bit. If you need to, you can get your Q-tip wet, but then that causes other problems too. So also what would work on this is just a really thin, like I said, I'm short on brushes, but a thin eyeshadow brush would also put that on really nicely. Just a really light coating of this. We're not, doing a cabaret, so we don't want it hardcore. And then on the black, it's really important though that the black not be anywhere near the eye. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the top of the black, and this one you might need to add a little water to it. Top of the black, just a little bit, and under the black. But we really want to make sure that this stuff does not get in these kiddos' eyes. Make sure they're closing their eyes when you put it on. And then right afterward, go ahead and spray and powder. All right, and that is our basic Gazelle. So that's going to be our beautiful little gazelles. They'll put their own lipstick on to finish the look. But it's not so hard. This will be a little bit darker up here because of the brown. But the middle looks about what I want it to look, and then the white. So, and hopefully your eyes will be a little more symmetrical than mine, but I don't think that matters either. Every gazelle in the real world is a little bit different than each other. Okay, there you go. That's our gazelle.